In today's video, Jeffree Star does an interview with Chris Hansen to discuss his past relationship with accused child pred Dahvie Vanity of blood on the dance floor. Did Chris ask the hard-hitting questions, and did Jeffree Star skate around them? That story coming up now. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. If you're a return subscriber, I really do appreciate your continued support. If you're new here and you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Everyone give this video a big thumbs up, click on that notification bell and select it to all. That way you'll be notified when I upload my next video. Before we get started, and as always, I do need to remind you all that I am a drama commentary channel. I have opinions and I speak them freely. Opinions are not facts, they never have been facts, and they never will be facts. I also need to let you know that all the accusations against Dahvie Vanity are alleged. Again, all the accusations against Dahvie Vanity are alleged. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in. Recently, Jeffree Star has come under fire for his past relationship with accused child pred Dahvie Vanity. Back in 2010, Jeffree called him out for being sexually inappropriate with underage girls while on tour, only to essentially retract his statement nearly a year later by performing with Dahvie Vanity and his band Blood on the Dance Floor at Warped Tour, going on tour with him in 2012, and recording the song Poison Apple with him in 2014. For more details on Jeffree's past relationship, as well as information on some of the alleged crimes committed by Dahvie Vanity, I urge you to check out my first video on this topic, Dahvie Vanity's Alleged Abuse. Was Jeffree Star complicit? I'll be sure to link it in the description box down below and at the end of this video. Criticism mounted as more and more YouTubers started covering Jeffree's past history with Dahvie Vanity, and in an attempt to change the narrative, Jeffree sent the following DM to drama channel YouTuber Paige. Hey babe, I find it so bizarre that not one person has reached out to me to comment or ask any questions. The videos I've seen thus far are old tweets, Photoshop tweets, and weird speculations, but not one person has asked me a single question. Why? Dahvie should be rotting in a prison cell, and instead we are focusing on me and Blair and a bunch of false narratives, hoping like you always do that you can set things straight and show the truth. I'm here as always. And to answer one question, I'm not going to put someone that evil in front of millions of followers and give that piece of crap any sort of platform. I'm sure you can see my perspective. I never saw anything illegal, or he would be in jail. I pray his victims get peace, and I wish I could help put him away. Jeffree tried to claim that the screenshots were fake, but they weren't, because up until recently, one of the tweets was still public, which we all screen grabbed, and replies to the tweets were still available, proving that they did in fact exist. Paige didn't buy into his story, and neither did the rest of us, and she criticized him in her video. I'll be sure to link it down below, and I highly suggest you guys check it out because it's very well done. But Paige was not the only person that Jeffree Star reached out to. He tweeted, "Chris Hansen, so good talking with you today. We'll speak more later this week." The following day, Chris Hansen tweeted, "Jeffree Star will have a seat with me Sunday." So the interview was scheduled, and on the morning of the interview, Jeffree Star decided to share some of his thoughts on Snapchat beforehand that had many of us concerned with how the interview was going to go.
Okay, happy Sunday everybody. I'm getting ready right now because today I am being interviewed by the legendary American TV journalist Chris Hansen. We are diving into a very serious subject today. It is going to be on his YouTube channel. He's trying to put away someone in prison, and I'm going to answer all of his questions, and hopefully I can help and give some clarity to a lot of really insane rumors and misinformation on the internet. I know a lot of people love to copy and paste my old past to try to use it against me. Girl, not today. This topic is very serious. So I will be live on Chris Hansen's YouTube channel at 1 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. East Coast time. Okay, so I woke up today, and once again, I think this is like every 6 months, people have dragged up and pulled out old videos from my MySpace days. We're talking 10, 12 years ago. I know quarantine has a lot of you really bored, but stop trying to use my past against me. Today, 2020, this is the I am. This is the person I'm proud to be. Me 10 years ago, we've been over this so many times, so every time I'm not gonna readdress things every 6 months when a little group of people can't get over something or like move on. That Jeffree Star is not Jeffree from 10 years ago. I don't know how many times I have to hammer offensive, crass, crazy. Like Trust me, I know. I lived it. And if you're seeing tiny pieces of clips of things that you were not there for, don't assume. Don't assume anything because you weren't there. You didn't know what happened. So, look, I'm just going to say that once. You guys know I will always be sorry and forever apologize for all the stupid, offensive shit I've said. But dragging up old videos and trying to paint a narrative, girl, go spend some quarantine time doing something else for you, girl. That into some people's heads. But girl, I'm like, keep pulling the old videos. Yes, that was me. Girl, those lived on MySpace. They had millions of views. I took them down later because guess what? Bad makeup things to make it seem a certain way. It's happened to me my whole career. But girl, I'm not doing it. I am in such a good headspace. And the old Jeffree is never coming back. So keep rewatching the old her. Because all that energy on me is wasteful. God bless you. Now I understand that I signed up for this. I get it. I've lived my life online for a very long time. And none of those videos will ever go away. But I get that the lie is a lot more entertaining than the truth sometimes. And people will make... Because I'm never coming back. So needy.
Jeffree Star also decided to take to Twitter before his interview with Chris Hansen. He tweeted, "Today I'm sitting down live with the legendary TV journalist Chris Hansen to help him with a case he is working on and to answer all his questions about my old music career." He also tweeted, "It's scary how sometimes nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining." The interview with Chris Hansen started at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and it was just under an hour long. For those of you that missed it or didn't care to watch it, I'll give you a quick summary before we get into some of the issues with the interview and how Dahvie Vanity's survivors felt about it. Jeffree Star told Chris Hansen that he first met Dahvie Vanity in Florida when Dahvie was just a fan of his at the time. The second time he saw Dahvie, he had formed his own band, Blood on the Dance Floor. Jeffree recalled Dahvie as being a bit off, was trying really hard to fit in, and seemed to be copying him. Chris asked Jeffree if he ever witnessed any criminal activity from Dahvie Vanity, and Jeffree said that he 100% never saw Dahvie Vanity commit any sexually illegal activity with minors, but he did witness offensive and inappropriate behavior from Dahvie, but nothing he could report on to the authorities. He mentioned more than once that he observed only inappropriate behavior, but never went into details on what those behaviors were. Jeffree did mention, however, that band members told him that Dahvie would have underage girls and their mothers come on the tour bus and that Dahvie would have sex with the mother and on occasion threesomes, but he personally never witnessed him alone on the tour bus with minors and he wasn't around for the Denver, Colorado incident. There were plenty of rumors and speculation that Dahvie Vanity was preying on minors as he would disappear and no one knew where he was, but no one knew for sure, and Dahvie would manipulate people into thinking that his inappropriate behavior was okay. It was often a game of he said, she said, and he was very good at manipulating people into believing his side of the story. On the topic of inappropriate behavior from Dahvie Vanity, Chris Hansen brought up a video that's been circulating around on Twitter of Dahvie Vanity grinding on and dry humping from behind a minor on stage while Jeffree Star and J. Von Monroe sang. If you'd like to see that video, it's in my previous video I mentioned earlier. Jeffree's response to the incident was that it was disgusting, but also very common to bring up fans to the stage to dance with them. Although, yes, he was on stage with them performing, he's ultimately not responsible for Dahvie Vanity's behavior. Chris Hansen asked Jeffree Star how much time he spent with Dahvie Vanity over the years. For a while, he saw him mainly only for shows, but for a year, he actually befriended him. But during the final tour, he said he didn't spend much time with him at all. Jeffree said that he was much closer to J. Von Monroe than to Dahvie Vanity. When speaking about Jay, Jeffree said he felt bad for him. He seemed to be a lost and broken kid that Dahvie Vanity took advantage of and brainwashed for years. Jeffree also stated that he believes that Jay knows more about what went on with Dahvie Vanity than he's letting on, and he needs to be honest and speak up. He also stated that people need to start questioning Dahvie Vanity's manager and the people that worked on his merch because they were always around him, and if anyone knows anything, it's likely them, and maybe the reason that they haven't spoken out yet is because they signed an NDA, but he doesn't know. Now on to the infamous tweets that partially got Jeffree Star into this mess in the first place. Jeffree Star tweeted the following in 2010. "I no longer support Blood on the Dance Floor and how disgusting Dahvie is. Touching children and enjoying the attention is evil. F off, sicko. Being on tour with that child effer has made me see the truth. I regret ever doing a song with that pig. Rest in peace, cause you'll never be me. If you support that piece of crap, then unfollow me because you're supporting Child M. Dahvie is the lowest, worthless scum I've ever met. I'm gonna speak the truth till I die. We saw Dahvie bring underage girls to his hotel rooms and do sexual things, 100% illegal. He tweeted those tweets only to hang out and perform with Dahvie Vanity in 2011 at Warped Tour less than a year later, tweeted out that everyone gets over the past and that things are great with Dahvie, that he loves him like a brother and can't wait to go on the Seen Is Dead tour with him. Chris Hansen asked Jeffree Star why he tweeted those original tweets exposing Dahvie Vanity, and Jeffree said that between the rumors of him preying on minors and his offensive and inappropriate behavior, that he believed it to be true despite never seeing an actual crime. Chris asked him again for the reasoning behind sending the tweets, and Jeffree responded that Dahvie was getting a platform bigger than he ever thought he would reach and didn't want his audience thinking he really didn't do anything, as he was manipulating people into thinking he didn't because he's never gone to prison. Chris Hansen also asked Jeffree why he called him a child effer, and Jeffree simply said because everyone said he was like the devil, but didn't get into it further. The next obvious topic was why Jeffree Star went back on tour with him in 2012. According to Jeffree, he reached out to Javon Monroe and band member Brandy after Dahvie had called him begging Jeffree not to believe the rumors. Jeffree wanted to know if Dahvie was lying, so he asked Javon Monroe if he ever saw anything illegal, to which he said no, and the same went for Brandy. Since they both said that they never witnessed Dahvie Vanity doing anything illegal, he was okay with them being on tour with him. Had it gone the other way, he wouldn't have toured with them at all. Even though Jeffree Star said he had a great time on that tour, he regrets doing it. He wasn't friends with Dahvie on that tour because Dahvie was jealous of him and turned bitter. The last time he saw Javon Monroe and Dahvie Vanity was back in 2014 in San Diego at their new home. Jeffree said he pretended to entertain the idea of doing an album with them, but it was a hard pass. He also said that he felt like Javon Monroe was ready to jump ship when he asked for business advice. When asked why he referred to Dahvie Vanity as being his brother and that he loved him so much, Jeffree simply said that he was being dramatic. He never loved him like a brother, and they were never best friends. When Chris Hansen asked Jeffree Star what he would say to Dahvie Vanity today, this is what he said.
What do you say to Dahvie Vanity as we sit here today? If he's watching the show, what do you say to Jesus Torres?
Honestly, Jesus Torres, I have nothing to say to you. I can't wait, like the rest of the world, to see you sitting behind bars and finally getting what you deserve. Chris, he doesn't deserve a monologue of mine. He doesn't deserve a monologue of yours. He deserves silence, and he deserves sitting and staring at a cement cell for the rest of his life.
The rest of the interview focused more on Jeffree Star, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the summary here. If you have time, I do suggest that you check out the entire interview. I'll be sure to link it down below. After the interview, some of Dahvie Vanity's survivors spoke out about how they felt it went. Ashley Lilly, who has been bravely telling her story and who was at one time a supporter of Jeffree Star, took to Twitter before the interview. She tweeted, "I just want to say that I wish he would handle this with grace. I wish that he wouldn't keep making it worse. I wish that I could purchase products from him in the future and feel good about it. But this just ain't it, man. Like I said, I provided Chris with resources that contradict every statement Jay has made so far, so I can only hope he will back down instead of making a bigger clown of himself and stop making young girls' trauma about him." After the interview, she tweeted, "How Jeffree Star looked when he acted concerned about survivors of DV. You are not on my side. You are not my ally. You can go F yourself." Mal Levy, Ashley Lilly, and Damian Leonhardt also went live with Repzilla to discuss how they felt about Jeffree Star's interview with Chris Hansen. They all agreed that the interview was more of a crap show than helpful. They said that Jeffree Star deflected, couldn't keep his story straight, and that him going back on calling Dahvie out all of those years ago damaged their credibility, and people were less likely to believe them because if Jeffree Star decided he was good with Dahvie Vanity, then they must have been lying clout chasers. Damian was severely bullied for speaking out about what Dahvie Vanity had done to them, so much so that they issued an insincere apology just to get the harassment to stop. Here are just a few examples of what brainwashed Dahvie Vanity stans sent to Damian all those years ago. "Okay, Dahvie Vanity didn't R Jessie Slaughter. She is just a little slut who wanted attention, so F off. Focus on stuff that really matters. I hope she really gets R'd and trusts to tell her foster parent and they don't believe her and she feels how he felt. I effing hate her cause my dad found out about that and now I have like no chance of meeting Dahvie Vanity. She ruined lots of my blood on the dance floor dreams. And finally, this bee needs some mental help. She really thinks Dahvie Vanity R'd her? She's effing stupid. Damien said that Jeffree Star 100% saw them with Dahvie Vanity. While they did admit that he may be technically telling the truth, that he didn't actually witness Dahvie Vanity actively R-ing them, so he never witnessed any criminal activity, but he 100% saw circumstantial evidence and did nothing to help them. Overall, the survivors were not overly impressed with the interview. I asked my Twitter followers how they felt the interview went, and here is what some of them had to say. Alex said, "Sad and disappointed. I wish he had been more honest, truthful, and transparent. My guts don't lie." Demoness Carissa tweeted, "Disappointed. Very disappointed. What kind of agreement did they have beforehand? Did Jeffree Star's lawyer tell Chris, don't ask this, don't bring this up? Sounds like it could have. I don't know. I don't think Jeffree Star helped at all. Don't think Chris asked the right questions." Lastly, Christina wrote, "Was that the real interview? I thought that was a joke. I wasn't expecting much, but man, I couldn't finish it. I was too upset." To be fair, I also searched for the thoughts of Jeffree Star fans. Here's what some of them had to say about the interview. "I honestly believe Jeffree Star and think he did a great job on Chris Hansen, owned up to his own stupidity and explained himself fully." Someone else tweeted, "Love this interview and absolutely love Jeffree Star, who is helping so many of us who are really suffering. He is not now who he was then." And finally, someone else wrote, "Jeffree Star, I just watched your interview with Chris Hansen. Just want you to know you are supported. Nobody can say they've never done anything for attention that they aren't proud of as a grown adult. You are allowed to be flawed. You are a person. I appreciate you." The survivors mentioned that there were inconsistencies and deflections in Jeffree's interview, and I noticed them as well, along with some flat-out lies that he told. First, the lies. Jeffree Star claimed in his interview that he never witnessed any criminal activity between Dahvie Vanity and minors, but in his tweet, he said that "we saw Dahvie Vanity bring underage girls to his hotel and do sexual things." Again, he said, "we saw." So, was he lying then, or is he lying right now? If he is lying now, who is the other person he was referring to in his tweet? What exactly did he see to warrant him saying that it was 100% illegal? Damien said that Jeffree Star saw her and most definitely saw inappropriate behavior. If he did see serious red flags, why in the world did he leave her to deal with it all alone and backtrack on his tweets exposing him? If he did, that's truly screwed up and he 100% should be called out for being complicit, which a lot of us have, and he deserves all the criticism he's received. If Jeffree did in fact see nothing as he's claiming now, that's still one whopper of a lie to tell back then. To falsely accuse someone of being a child pred with zero proof, claiming to see something you didn't, is slander and defamation of character, which he could have been sued for. To falsely claim he saw something happen with minors sexually that was illegal is reprehensible. It doesn't matter what the rumors were, you don't go and publicly expose someone for such a serious crime with no evidence, and he should be held accountable for it. For those of you that don't know, this isn't the first time Jeffree Star has falsely accused someone of being a pred. Last year, Jeffree Star publicly accused beauty influencer James Charles of being a pred after Tati Westbrook uploaded her Bye Sister video, which started Dramageddon 2. Jeffree tweeted the following in response to James Charles' brother. "Why is your brother a pred? Why'd you really move back to New York City? Exactly. Shut the F up." He also tweeted, "There is a reason that Nathan banned James Charles from ever coming over to our home again. There's a reason why I haven't seen him since Tati Westbrook's birthday in February. He is a danger to society. Everything Tati said is 100% true." James Charles came hard for Jeffree after that and exposed several private messages. Jeffree claimed that he was going to do a video exposing all of the receipts proving James Charles was a pred, but he never did, deleted his tweets, went silent, and just recently started acting friendly towards James Charles again. He recently tweeted, "You look so gorgeous. James killed it per the usual." All of this sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? Jeffree accused Dahvie of being a child effer, later deleted most of the tweets, never offered any proof, and became friendly with Dahvie again. I do want to point out something I find very interesting in Jeffree's interview with Chris Hansen regarding why he tweeted those tweets exposing Dahvie. Jeffree said that Dahvie's platform was getting bigger than he ever imagined it would. Could that possibly have been part of the reason why he exposed him? Because he was getting too big and not just because he was doing the right thing? Could the same be said for why he was coming for James Charles? Was James's success on YouTube bothering him so he decided to expose him? Just a little conspiracy, not a fact, something to think about. The fact of the matter is that Jeffree Star lied, flat out lied. Whether it was back then or now really doesn't matter. How can we trust him now? Jeffree also lied about his feelings towards Dahvie Vanity. Jeffree said on more than one occasion that he loved him and thought of him like a brother, but then told Chris Hansen that he didn't mean it. He was just being dramatic. I call it being fake as F and lying. So who was he lying to? Chris or Dahvie? Honestly, I'm thinking both. I feel like he was being super fake around Dahvie Vanity because it somehow benefited him, but I don't believe that he disliked him as much as he claimed. Just another inconsistency in his story. While we're on the topic of Jeffree being dramatic when it comes to friendships, I'm wondering if he was actually as close to J. Vaughn Monroe as he claimed that he was. According to J. Vaughn Monroe in his interview with Chris Hansen, he said that he and Jeffree Star weren't very close at all. So who's full of it? Pictures and videos show that they did spend time together. I'd be interested to hear what J. Vaughn Monroe has to say, especially now since Jeffree attempted to shift the attention from him to Jay. During the interview, Jeffree deflected the attention to J. Vaughn Monroe, and it didn't go unnoticed. It went from trying to find out what exactly Jeffree saw Dahvie doing with minors to J. Vaughn Monroe most likely knowing what had happened, that he's not being honest about it, and he needs to come forward. To me, it felt like he was throwing Jay under the bus to get the heat taken off of him. He also did the same thing when he pointed out that people should be talking with his old manager and merch girls. It was as if he was trying to say, you need to be talking to these people and not me. And with that, it's now time for my 2 cents on this interview, how I think it went, and if this has changed my feelings towards Jeffree Star. The interview went about as well as I expected, which is disappointing. I feel like Chris Hansen could have pressed Jeffree Star a bit harder than he did. I would have liked Chris to press Jeffree on what he actually saw. He said repeatedly that he saw offensive and inappropriate behavior, but he never asked him what specifically he saw. I really wish he would have asked Jeffree Star more about Damien. Damien claimed that Jeffree was a witness and complicit in Pastel Belle's interview. Chris should have confronted him about their claim, but they were hardly mentioned at all. I don't know if Chris knew about this, but if he did, I would have liked him to ask why at first Jeffree Star claimed that some of those old tweets going around were fake to petty Paige. Which tweets were fake, Jeffree? When talking about the tweets, Jeffree seemed to dance around the question. I would have liked a much more concrete answer instead of him going off about how Dahvie Vanity manipulated everyone. Overall, I feel like the interview seemed to be more of a PR stunt to repair his image than to help the survivors and bring awareness. Now on to Jeffree Star and my issues with him. And my issues with him go beyond the interview he did with Chris Hansen. Listen, I don't know if Jeffree Star saw any sex crimes committed. None of us do, and we can speculate all we want, but we will never know for certain unless someone comes forward. Damien even said so themselves that technically Jeffree Star is probably telling the truth when he says that he didn't see any sex crimes committed because he actively didn't see Dahvie Vanity R-ing Damien. But he did seek circumstantial evidence, and that is not the same thing as actually witnessing the crime take place. Does that make it okay to not come forward? Heck no. If he saw circumstantial evidence, major red flags, he should have stepped forward and told the authorities, as should everyone else that was there and saw the same types of behavior. Besides all of that, what I do know is that Jeffree Star is a liar. He either lied about what he said he saw happen back then, or he's lying to us all now saying he saw nothing at all. He either saw Dahvie Vanity sexually taking advantage of minors, or he publicly falsely accused Dahvie Vanity of being a child effer with zero proof, and both are horrible. Jeffree Star backtracking on his tweets exposing Dahvie Vanity isn't the only thing that bothers me. Jeffree claiming that he was being dramatic when he said he saw Dahvie Vanity as a brother and that he loved him but actually didn't mean any of it rubbed me the wrong way. Either Jeffree Star is lying again to Chris Hansen, or he's one of the fakest, least genuine people out there. Jeffree Star told Chris Hansen that he was never best friends with Dahvie Vanity and that he only befriended him for about a year, but in this tweet he wrote, "So much love for Dahvie Vanity. After 7 years of friendship, nothing can tear us apart. Hashtag sorry ho." Jeffree said he had only befriended him for 1 year. 1 year. But here in this tweet he is saying that they've been friends for 7 years. Jeffree also told Chris Hansen, and I quote, In the year of 2012 and beyond, we were not friends, but he did go visit them in 2014 at their new home at the request of Javon Monroe. I managed to find some clips on Dahvie Vanity's Instagram page from 2014 where Jeffree had just finished recording the song Poison Apple with Blood on the Dance Floor.
All right, we just wrapped up Poison Apple. It's coming out spring break around March 8th.
Uh-oh, get ready.
Shit.
Blood on the Dance Floor, Jeffree Star. We're back.
I'm so high.
Why would you record a song with someone you're not friends with? Here are also a few clips from that same day, also found on Dahvie Vanity's Instagram page.
Yeah, with us, you know.
Hi.
Good morning. What the hell?
Yeah. Hey. What's that? What you got there? Oh my god. Jet. What?
Just look in the mirror.
Like 2 scoops of butter pecan.
Damn, girl, that ass. Like, damn. Quit playing.
And here are a few pictures he posted as well. Either they were friends and Jeffree Star was lying to Chris Hansen when he said that they weren't, or he was pretending to be their friends really, really well, which is super shady and so fake. I'm sorry, but hearing Jeffree say that they weren't friends and then watching him pretend to be is just cringeworthy to me, and if I were one of his friends today, I'd be watching my back so he can't stick a knife in it. It pains me to say this because I don't hate Jeffree Star. Again, as I said in my first video, long-time customer here, but I don't trust him anymore. And using the excuse that he was just being dramatic, that's ridiculous, and shame on him for lying to his fans about how he really felt about Dahvie Vanity and telling them to buy his music. And if he's lying now and he really wasn't being dramatic, then again, shame on him. The last thing that Jeffree Star did that bothers me that honestly had nothing to do with the interview was him lying to drama channel Petty Paige about the tweets being faked and that no one reached out to him. They weren't fake. I found one of the tweets he forgot to delete, myself, twice to be exact. One when the story first came to light, and again after he changed his profile picture to what it is now because I thought I lost the first one. He also claimed that no one reached out to him to ask him why. Lies, lies, lies. Chris Hansen, Pastel Belle, and the Huffington Post reporter Sebastian Murdoch are just to name a few that reached out to him for comment, but no one got a response. Chris Hansen didn't hear from him until after he started getting called out en masse. And to top it all off, he was passive-aggressively trying to get Petty Paige to make a video in his favor. The trust is gone, and I don't know if he can ever get it back. No matter which way you slice it, Jeffree Star looks bad, and I'm very disappointed. Jeffree claiming he's the scapegoat? Sorry, no. Jeffree, we are not blaming you for Dahvie Vanity's wrongdoings. We are calling you out on your shady behavior, your potential complacency, and or your downright lies, while at the same time going hard after Dahvie Vanity for the alleged crimes he committed, and we will not let up on him until he is behind bars. Before I let you all go, I quickly want to say that I did agree with some of the things that Jeffree Star had to say in his interview. I believe that Javon Monroe does in fact know more than he is telling us, and I hope that if in fact he does, he will either speak about it publicly, go to the authorities, or both. I also believe Jeffree when he says that Dahvie Vanity manipulated everyone and that he had two sides to him. Preds don't want to get caught, and they will do their absolute best to hide who they really are. Take serial killer Ted Bundy for example. He was a charming guy who seemed very normal on the outside to most people, but behind closed doors he was a vicious monster who killed many women. Serial killers, serial rapists, and pedos can go for years without getting caught because they pretend to be one person while being another. What we need to do now is focus our attention on Dahvie Vanity, so I will not be doing any more videos pertaining to both Jeffree and Dahvie. I will be keeping a close eye on the Dahvie Vanity situation and will update you on any major developments. Right now, according to Pastel Belle, there are several cases open against Dahvie Vanity as victims are starting to come forward to authorities. Hopefully soon, if he is guilty, he will be put behind bars. Did you watch the interview? What did you think? Do you still support Jeffree Star? Let me know in the comments down below. But remember to be respectful. We can all have our own opinions and be adult about it. Petty insults, personal attacks, and name-calling will not be tolerated. Thank you. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for today's video, and I am beat, to be honest. I'd like to thank you all again for spending some time with me today. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, if you are new here and you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Everyone give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you very shortly on the next one. Bye!